Good evening, wrestling enjoyers. Hope you're doing alright, 'cause it's time for Profit Review. Last week we discussed the October 10, 2024 Rustore, and that means today we are here to talk about Halloween Week 1 for 2024. Yes, we're going to be talking about Halloween skins. So sit back and relax. I'm going to start yapping. But before I do, some of you probably don't fully understand the focus of the video, so I'll quickly explain. Basically, with every Rustore that we see, I will return to it 4 weeks later just to see how everything turned out. Did everything match up to our expectations? And if not, I have to sit here and explain why. Now, with every Rustore that we see, I'm always looking around and making predictions for what potentially might be the best investments for this week. Was I correct? If not, you can hold me accountable. So let's now jump in and talk about my initial reaction when I saw this Rustore. So let's give you some context. When I was waiting for this Rustore to appear, it actually took so long that it didn't appear until after 1 o'clock in the morning, which would technically mean it actually rotated on October 18th, not the 17th. And because of that, we didn't have any abnormals that week. So if I could just quickly hop over to here, that was my reaction to it, basically. The Rustore was delayed. And then the next day, I actually recorded a video. But no predictions video, unfortunately. It just didn't feel like it was necessary. Why did I say that? Because Halloween skins are holiday-themed skins. And once it's no longer the holiday, people do not care for the skins anymore. Yes, this profit review is going to be pretty straightforward. So the very first thing I said when I first saw these skins was, guys, do not be surprised if every single one of these skins right here in front of you ends up going down in price, all of them eventually at some point. We'll talk about that in a bit, don't you worry. But in short, you would have to do smart buy orders to potentially walk away with some decent profit. Now, there was still some nice potential for some of them. We've got some interesting items that don't get that many skins, and we got some interesting potential camouflage. So let's talk about Guise poncho and Headwrap. When I first saw that, I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. White sheets, primitive white camouflage potentially, but there was a catch. What do you mean? It's perfect. How could there be any wrong? It glowed in the dark. It glowed in the dark. Now, we did question this. I was doing some comparisons as pairing it up with Arctic camouflage and whatnot, the primitive set. And yeah, it glowed. It wasn't that noticeable, but it glows, and people were well aware of that, and they're questioning it. So, was it destructively obvious? Well, if you were really looking for the person, you would notice it. But it wasn't like super flashy glow. It wasn't super like, my eyes at night time sort of situation. Yep, you can vaguely see him right there. Cool. Kind of spooky, which was perfectly befitting of Halloween. But as an investment, very questionable. Now, it was selling very nicely initially. A lot of these Halloween skins were, and I'll quickly show that off to you right now. So here is the first 24 hours of sales, as you can see right there. The Ghost Guys poncho and Headwrap, they were doing 12,000 plus subscribers after the first 24 hours. Ridiculous. However, just because it sold a lot doesn't mean it was going to definitely retain value afterwards and whatnot. All right? I was well aware. I've seen Halloween skins in the past. A lot of people really like to buy them for the period of time in which it's applicable during the month of October. But the very second we roll over to November, gone. Price down. Dump. Yeah. So, okay. I was interested in this. I wanted to see how they progressed there. I wanted to see how much they're going to sell by next, Thursday. Fridge, very interesting, because quite literally, the year before, we had another Halloween fridge. Now, that went up in price quite nicely as time progressed, but it did go down quite a fair bit initially. Was the exact same behaviour going to happen to that fridge? Because the awkward thing was, for this fridge, immediately, the very next month, we had a Twitch drop given away for free. Was that going to happen to this? Anyway, we saw an interesting collection continuation here. Grim Farm Metal Door, a lovely continuation from the garage door from the previous year. But that garage door went down in price very, very quickly. And it's not too hard to notice because it was very gimmicky for Halloween. So I know I just made the whole point of Halloween themed skins are going to go down in price the very second it's not Halloween. But if it was really, really gimmicky towards the Halloween month, yes, basically that sheet metal door really didn't look like it was going to stand on its legs for very long. It looked like it was going to really go down in price. The garage door went down all the way to $1 after selling in a Rustore at $3. Was the sheet metal door going to follow suit at $2.49? Well, we'll have to wait and see. Zombie Tier 3 was looking pretty interesting. Could it be nice green camouflage? I was questioning it, but the tie on the chest plate definitely wasn't helping it out. What about the face mask though? Maybe that might still fare quite nicely. Well, I did do some comparisons and whatnot. It was okay, but there's definitely other better options out there. So, okay. Another interesting glow-in-the-dark zombie-themed rock. We had an interesting glow-in-the-dark scarecrow rock in the past. I made a quick comparison to that, and in short, scarecrow rock did go down in price pretty hard, and I couldn't help but assume the exact same thing was going to happen to that rock. And we had a furnace. We had a lovely, I didn't even mention this, pumpkin hoodie and pants, a collection continuation. Yes, clothing and armour. We saw this appear after we had the likes of Pumpkin Tier 2 and Roadside Gloves. For some strange reason it doesn't appear there, but if I look at Robstar's acceptances, I can tell you, with the arrival of the hoodie and pants, the Tier 2 almost spiked in price ever so nicely. How long was it going to stay up for? Well, that was definitely going to be questionable. But just because this appeared and helped out the Tier 2 armour, was that going to be perfectly fine afterwards? Or would it need Tier 3 next year? I was definitely questioning that. And then we had a little Dracula box, a nice cute little box right there. Cool. Right, let's now go hop back over to here and talk about the first 24 hours of sales. I know I kind of leaked it initially, but I really had to get the point across that Ghost Guise clothing was selling pretty insanely initially. So 12,000 plus subscribers for both the clothing, Frankenstein fridge selling very nicely, the sheep in the door is selling very nicely. Like, you'd look at all of these skins right now and think, wow, there's a lot of demand for them. Surely they'd be all right. Well, no. I've seen this happen many times in the past. People really do seem to like the Halloween-themed skins when they first appear, but as I said, give it some time, they do eventually drop off. So, as I said, unfortunately, with the Rust Door being delayed, we didn't have any abnormals, but I could still figure out prices. So I'm going to just quickly talk about the prices I suggested for all the skins, because after I've basically sat here and said, oh, don't invest into Halloween skins, it's bad, you'd probably think, well, did you even bother, like, chasing after them? We did. So all of these skins actually became marketable the next Thursday night going into Friday morning. So yeah, the Rust Door would have rotated, all the skins were still not marketable. So let's just talk about the prices I was suggesting. So I was interested in Ghost Guise Headwrap and Poncho. For the Poncho, I was looking at it and thinking, you know what? I know it's selling at $1.49, but with the amount of sales, it was getting very questionable. It was getting very, very, very questionable. Now, if I could just quickly hop over to here and show you that on the night that it was the night before, actually, it was the 23rd of October, but even then, the day before, we could still see that both of these had around 27,000 subscribers. It was ridiculous. I was worried. I thought it was oversaturated. I thought far too many people bought them compared to the genuine demand. So I was like, you know what, 70 cents to 90 cents for the poncho, but I was going to do 80 cents to $1.20 for the head wrap. Now, here's the thing. The Arctic Protection, or I think it's just called Arctic Camouflage Collection, the primitive set, I'm sure you've seen it. It's quite expensive. The poncho for that is like 50 cents more than what this was selling at in the Rust Store at that specific time. But the Arctic head wrap cost like $11. That right there was so much cheaper, about 10 times cheaper, selling at $1.49. Yes, it glowed in the dark, but you know what? It wasn't that noticeable. And during the day, it was still pure white, perfectly fine camouflage during the day. So I thought, you know what? Maybe this one would actually fare a bit better. So I went with 80 cents to $1.20 for this skin. I thought, you know what? I could see this working out better compared to this at the very least. But would it still drop in price? I was still considering that. So that's why I did 80 cents to $1.20. Now, for the fridge, I was worried. A $2 fridge. I did talk about this last year, or at this specific point. The year before, we had another very cool-looking Halloween-themed fridge, or rather the From Hell fridge, and it sold quite a fair bit. Did like 25,000 subscribers, as you can see right here, fairly close, about 22,000 subscribers at that specific point. I was not sure how everything was going to, roll out from here, because everything seemed fine for the fridge the previous year. Then we got a Twitch drop. Then we got a Christmas drop, or rather a Christmas skin produced, which looked fantastic. The transparent snow globe design. Anyway, I was still hesitant with the Frankenstein fridge. I went with $1 to $1.50. I didn't know what was going to happen afterwards. I was a bit cautious, but yeah, I still thought it was going to be one of the better performing skins out of the whole batch. And it wasn't surprising to see it sold quite nicely. Grim Farm Sheep in the Door. Well, I talked about the garage door from the previous year and how gimmicky they were towards Halloween. I looked at that sheep in the door and I said 50 cents to 70 cents. And I don't even think I even bothered doing a barge on it. I didn't have a lot of faith in it. Yeah, it'll go down in price. How low will it go? Well, give it some more time. It'll probably just keep going lower, lower, lower. But of course, we'll be looking at it in a bit after, it being a month. Anyway, Zombie Tier 3, the face mask and the chest plate. I was looking at it and I thought, you know what? I've seen this happen many times with Halloween-themed clothing and armour. It drops off very badly, all right? Now, I know I just talked about the Ghost Guise poncho and the Headwrap. That was special. It's pure white, very good for camouflage. The zombie face mask and chest plate, I was questioning it. It just didn't really look like it's going to be a good green camouflage. But for the face mask, I thought, you know what, maybe it might just fare a little bit better because, you know, if people really want to go for a budget option, you would be okay. I said for the face mask, 60 cents to 80 cents. And for the chest plate, I said 30 cents to 40 cents. Yes, it does get that low. And after about 14,000 plus subscribers for the face mask and just over 12,000 subscribers for the chest plate, yeah, my expectations was that. Now, for the zombie rock, I gave you that quick comparison to the scarecrow rock, didn't I? And that dropped off pretty badly itself. I looked at the zombie rock, I thought it was going to emulate the behaviour, and I suggested 80 cents to $1.10. Rock skins in general just weren't exactly doing super great, and that right there, yeah, glowed in the dark as well. It was another problem. So, yeah, I just wanted to play it safe. I went with 80 cents to $1.10. Now, for the Eat You furnace, which I really didn't have that much faith in regardless, I went with 70 cents to 90 cents. I've seen a reasonable amount of Halloween-themed furnaces in the past. Now, some of that came out years ago actually worked out quite nicely, but some of the more recent ones just dropped in price like very, very badly. Didn't have that much faith. I wanted a $1.49 skin, and I suggested only 70 cents to 90 cents. Then we have the pumpkin hoodie and pants. At this specific point, it did 11,000 subscribers. I thought, guys, hear me out. If we do see Tier 3 armour being produced the next year, considering that we've already had Tier 2 armour and now the pumpkin hoodie and pants, I fully expect it to happen, and I still stand by that point. But I knew that hoodie and pants right there, it was still going to go down in price pretty badly. The pumpkin road sign went down pretty badly, the Tier 2. But when the hoodie and pants appeared, just spiked all the way up. So I could see a very nice long-term investment. I did want to pick these hoodie and pants up for a very cheap price. But so I went with 50 cents to 70 cents. I was like, you know what? I want to make sure that I pick these up. So I offer quite a decent amount. But I'm very well aware that I very likely will buy all of the ones I request. So if I requested 50 at like 50 cents, wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if I bought 50 pumpkin hoodie and 50 pumpkin pants. But again, the confidence to see pumpkin Tier 3 the next year, I have it, and I'm looking forward to it. Because once we see that appear, the potential profits could be lovely. Cool. And then the little Dracula box, didn't have that much faith in it. I just went with 60 cents to 80 cents. I didn't expect it to retain value very nicely. So, with all those prices suggested, and after we did the buy orders and whatnot, how did it turn out? It went as expected. It's all down in price. Now, I will sit here and say this. Ghost Guise, the Headwrap did kind of work out quite nicely. So as you can see over to here, the Headwrap has actually matched up to its Rustore price right now, and there's only 33 listings. This has improved. This is actually not doing too bad. Now, is it profit? No. But is it still looking pretty good after I suggested 80 cents to $1.20? You could say that. Now, this guy has appeared with a 100 quantity buy order. It seems he was the one who kind of saved this because this did drop down in price initially. So quite a decent amount of skins did go down in price during October, but with the player counts right now, big surprise, especially when you compare it to the previous years. Lots of people playing right now, and the prices are improving quite nicely. Even then, these skins have gone down in price, but that Headwrap right there, that has improved. That has kind of sorted itself out, and it looks like people are accepting it as nice, cheap white camouflage for the the snowy areas. You're not always going to have like hoodie and pants and jackets readily available, but you can always quickly make a poncho and a Headwrap. Now, the poncho, of course, isn't exactly doing super good. It's gone down by a third of its price. It's still sitting at around $1. Now, there's only 48 listings. As you can see, lowest listing is $1.05, highest buy order is 84 cents. My suggestion was 70 cents to 90 cents. It seems that has worked out okay. That suggestion with the price, that seems to be fine. Now, have you bought this for yourself? Do you like it? And did you do the thing where you just kind of swap that with the Arctic Headwrap and use all the Arctic clothing and whatnot for the quick primitive clothing camouflage? It seems to have worked out okay. I have bought a few of these myself with buy orders and whatnot. But how does it fare over the course of the next 2 months in the lead up to January time, which potentially and hopefully will have a lot of people playing by then, considering we just had a peak player count of over 182,000 for November. And earlier this year, back in January 24, we had 190,000. I'm really hoping to see January 2025, sorry, I'm talking too quickly, we'll have over 200,000 people playing for peak and 100,000 average players playing during January 2025. So I'm hoping a lot more people will be playing. There's a point I'm trying to get across. Will this be favoured and enjoyed? We shall see. All right, sorry for mumbling there. Let's now talk about the Frankenstein fridge because, wow, guess what? We got a Twitch drop. Wow. I really didn't anticipate this, but right now, as you can see, we currently have Twitch drops, and one of them just so happens to be a fridge. It's a pretty cool looking fridge. More specifically, that's being given away for free. And of course, it was going to affect the Frankenstein fridge. Now, as we look at the fridge on the Steam market, you'll notice that it's basically sitting at the price I was suggesting, $1 to $1.50. Cool. So that happened. Could this improve and, potentially rise up in price quite nice in the future? Well, I certainly do hope so. But if we could just quickly showcase to you Hell Fridge and just see how that progressed, because it did progress. It went down in price initially, but it did progress. So as you can see, it went down to quite a low point, and then it went back up again. And at one point, it was selling for about $2.50 back in August. Now, as you might notice, it doesn't look super pretty there, does it? Not really, no. But with a smart buy order, you could have walked away with some very nice profit and whatnot. Nice, cool, but it's probably not going to be like insane profit, is it? But I did warn people about that. I did give them the heads up. This is what it's like at the moment, so yeah. Right, let's now talk about the Grim Farm Sheep Middledore. Oh wow, it went down to $1. Who would have guessed? So yeah, it just dropped off. It just dropped off and it went down, down, down. Can it go any lower? Well, these bar orders are still here. What was my suggestion? I said 50 cents to 70 cents. Well, it looks like someone jumped in and did some higher bar orders. They're more than welcome to do so, and at the moment it is still doing a decent job of keeping it up. But what happens when we go through the Easter dip? What happens when we go through February, March and April? Oh dear, oh dear. Yeah. I am a bit worried about that. Yes, indeed I am. Well, I didn't really put down a bar order on it. I think I did quite literally 50 cents. And will I be able to sell them and make a profit? Maybe, but I'm not really like crossing my fingers and praying for it. That was like the perfect gimmicky skin that was just going to instantly suffer. And the funny thing is, after literally just 1 week, yes, that went down in price. And quite a few of these skins immediately went down in price. I warned everyone. I really did. Zombie tier 3. So yeah, this basically just dropped off pretty hard, pretty quickly. I removed my barter off after just like a few days because I just getting too many of them. My suggestion for the face mask was, of course, 60 cents to 80 cents. Yeah, no, that was wrong. And the chest plate, my suggestion was 30 cents to 40 cents. That seems to be okay. At the moment, that appears to be okay. Now, the only hope that could help this out is if we see some more, pieces being produced next year. Will we get zombie tier 2? Will we get zombie hoodie and pants? Well, more specifically, something that's actually part of this collection, made by these skin creators, Dark Schneider and Zed Skipper. All right, so if we do see that happen, yes, maybe they'll get bought out, spike in demand, spike in price. It'll be ever so nice, but it's a matter of if. All right, so unfortunately with that face mask, yeah, went down in price. Sorry about that. That was a bad suggestion. I'll hold myself accountable there. I got that wrong. So okay, let's now talk about the zombie rock, and I suggested 80 cents to $1.10, and it's kind of doing a decent job of retaining most of its value. It still went down in price. Only 26 listings, $1.40 is the lowest listing, highest bar order is $1.10. I mean, yeah, and that worked out quite all right. That worked out well. Could it still go lower though? That's the question. Well, first of all, let's go through January time. Let's see if this picks up and sells quite nicely. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it drops off a little bit lower. Wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. And it did end up doing like 13,000 subscribers. That's not like too low. I'm pretty sure we will be seeing a lot more than just 26 of these. But yeah, it could work out nicely. It could. Will it? But the suggestion of the price was correct for now. Right then. Then we have the Eat You Furnace. I had like a 75-cent buy order in this, and right now it is 76 cents. Yes, I did remove my buy order. I just don't really have that much faith in very gimmicky Halloween furnace skins anymore. And I feel like that's like the perfect showcase of that. Like, here's the question. Let's say I bought this for 58 cents. How confident would I feel to actually manage to be able to sell this? How many have sold in the past 24 hours? 15. Was that to buy orders? Yeah, it looks like that was the case. Okay, well, best of luck to you if you bought this. But my suggestion was, what was it? It was 70 cents, 90 cents. Wow, that was bad. I will sit there and say, no, that was not good. No. Right. Next up, we have the pumpkin hoodie and pants. And as of now, 75 cents and 69 cents apparently. And I said this, I'm going to buy a bunch of them, and I'm going to buy them at a cheaper price. And I'm holding out for that potential very nice continuation we see next year. Am I super confident it'll happen? I mean, I'm hopeful. I'm pretty reasonably accepting that, yeah, maybe it won't happen. But in 2022, we got pumpkin road sign tier 2. So, you know, kilt, vest, and of course coffee can. 2023, we've got the road sign gloves. And in 2024, we've got the hoodie and pants. I'm thinking it might work out well. Hopefully. So will we see the pumpkin tier 3? Robstar, please. My barter suggestion for these was 50 cents to 70 cents. Yes, it does look like it's holding up quite nicely. Is it simply due to the fact that we just don't have any orange clothing and armour that much? Probably. But as you can see, it is doing nice. So, okay, that's cool. Will it still go lower? Wouldn't surprise me. Look at this again around March, April time. It's going to probably be sitting here at about 50 cents. But that's fine. I'm accepting of that. Right, so if you still have a barter in this, and after hearing that you want to remove it, you're more than welcome to do that. And with all these skins, feel free to comment below. Did you buy any? Oh, wait, we still have one more skin. Sorry about that. Little Dracula box. So this did 10,500 subscribers. My suggestion was, what was it? It was 60 cents to 80 cents. Well, it has done a decent job of retaining most of its value. It's currently sitting here with only 10 listings, and it's sitting there at $1, and the highest barter was 77 cents. But this also looked like it just doesn't have any interest. How many sales have happened in the past 24 hours? 8? Really? Must have been to buy orders, probably. But yeah, I don't think that's going to hold up very nicely forever. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some more listings that goes down lower. Yeah. So yeah, overall, with all of these prices, I feel like I got most of them correct. Yes, I was wrong on a couple, and I do apologise. But I did warn everybody, don't look at all of these skins and instantly assume they're going to go up in price ever so nicely. Halloween-themed skins, they very quickly go out of season. Once October 31st has come and gone, that's it. No one cares anymore. And considering that we've basically finished the video now, I can quickly show you the next 3 weeks, because to my surprise, instead of just only having 2 weeks of Halloween, we had 3. Some of these skins are doing all right, but the majority, oh dear. And then we look at the most recent one, and yeah, some of the... like, out of all the Halloween skins, which is probably like 35 to 40 acceptances, only 3 of them appear to be in the positive. Wow, that is alarming, isn't it? Actually, technically speaking, we also had this one right here by accident. That was a funny thing, but hey, that will be saved for the video in 2 weeks' time. So I did sit here and say it was going to be pretty straightforward and pretty quick. Halloween skins, don't look at them as if they're nice investments. And with what we've seen today, that's basically a perfect example. So if you bought some, feel free to comment below. Do you enjoy them? You're more welcome to say that. But did you just avoid it? I'd also like to hear that as well. Did you just think, you know what, I'd rather just save my money, wait it out from Halloween, or did you end up like just buying one for yourself just to enjoy the skins and whatnot? Cool. So that's it. That's a wrap. Thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. Best of luck to you and your investments, and let's see how things progress ever so nicely towards January time.